Are we ready?
Ready.
Everybody's here. Kaylee will join us momentarily, I think, online. She's going to be virtual today. Good evening, everyone. Warren Select Board, February 10th, 2026. Do we have any public comment this evening? Perry?
Public question. Short-term rentals, how is that progressing with registrations and tax?
I don't know about registrations, but I know that credit card payments are coming in, I would say like 6 to 8 a day.
Oh, yeah?
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
I can,
That means it's happening.
it's happening.
Yeah.
So I would assume that if they haven't done their, their license, that they're not paying their fee, so I would assume that with those credit card payments comes all the licenses, but Carrie does all that piece of it, so,
Right.
I haven't seen her since last week, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a pretty thick stack of, credit card payments that have come in, so people are doing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good question, though, and
We can get an
let's
update
get
from
an
her.
update. Yeah, I'm curious. A couple of people have asked me, and I have forgotten to follow up on that.
Yep.
That'd be great. Any other public comment? Agenda changes.
I have a comment,
Oh, hi,
Evan.
Kaylee. Please comment away.
Can we ask the road crew to put up signs on the launch pads on Dump Road?
Oh, they have gotten quite whoop-de-woo, haven't they?
Yeah.
I can ask him, but he's gonna say that they don't have enough signage because they're everywhere.
I was just gonna say, I don't know how you distinguish which
Yeah.
ones get
I can
signs.
ask him, Kaylee.
We could move a speed
Okay.
bump sign.
It's also a little bit tricky right now because when they plow, those signs are gonna get
Yeah,
plowed over.
yeah. I can bring it up to him.
I think it's just surprising people at the bottom in particular, and I would rather avoid a collision off of Dump Road to Brook Road.
They are a bit surprising.
Public service announcement. There are frost heaves everywhere you go right now, and there will be for the next month and a half, so at least.
Yeah.
So
They're big
be
on
careful, go
golf course
slow.
road. Have you been golf course road ones? They're big.
Waterbury,
All over,
Duxbury. everywhere.
Any further public comment? And welcome to those who just joined us online and in the room. Please do sign in. I think the sign-in sheet is circulating around. Okay, agenda changes.
We'll be taking the town hall proposal off of the agenda for tonight.
And there, I'm gonna, in other business, just direct you all to an email from the Friends of the Mad River. We can talk about that then. Okay, Mad River Valley Rec District, board member appointment. Hi, Alice.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Is Stacy there?
She is. Stacy,
Hi Stacy.
if you speak, the owl will see you.
Camilla, I'm in Maine. Sorry.
Oh, you had to say that.
Sorry.
This
It's
is
been a
the
little
owl.
warmer here than
So
there.
mean.
Hi, Alice.
No, not fair. I'm here simply to present to you our nominee for the Warren vacancy on the Mad River Valley Recreation District, Stacy Weston. And boom, I will turn it over to Stacy.
Yikes. I don't know what else.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Nice, Stacy.
So I am probably a newbie to the valley. I've been here almost 7 years, which is relatively new compared to most of the local people that I know. But many of you know me from either the ski shop that my brother has, or walking my dogs on the dirt roads, or participating in any other recreational activity in the valley. Pickleball, bocce, cycling, walking the Mad River paths, all of that kind of stuff. So I thought it would be a great thing for me to be able to participate and help, the valley with their decisions and getting the, recreation for everyone in the Mad River Valley.
Cool.
Do you guys have any questions for me? quizzes.
Have you attended any of their?
I attended
Meetings
two,
or-
yeah. One by Zoom, the first one, and then I was there live for the finale of the budgeting and a grant approval process, which was
Perfect.
fascinating to understand. It's a very different dynamic than I've seen before, but I've been on a couple boards. I'm the vice president and treasurer of the North Country Animal League in Morristown.
Yep.
I was previously the secretary, and then I've been on the New England Masters ski racing, New England Masters skiing board in the past, and I still work with them doing their results reporting and their standings for their website. I manage my brother's two websites for the ski shop, and work 5 days a week in the winter and do as much of nothing as possible in the summer except recreate.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Questions?
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions? No?
Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate the
think
opportunity.
we just need a motion to appoint Stacy to the Mad River Valley Rec District as a Warren representative.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Stacy.
Stacy. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming down.
Please feel free to stay for what proves to be an exciting meeting, if you so choose.
Oh, it's gotten crowded, isn't it?
Thanks, Alice.
We will move on to the thank you, Alice. You can stay too. She's trying to, oh, I thought she was trying to unmute herself. Pardon me. Okay, we're gonna move on to the treasurer appointment. Patty, would you join us up here, please? I'm gonna let Harvey take this one. Lead the way.
All right. Well, how do we appoint people?
So Patty Began,
Yes.
that's how we say her last
Yes,
name, right?
correct.
Make sure I'm saying it correctly. Has presented herself to fill the open treasurer position.
Correct.
And I think we've all sort of deliberated a little bit on that independently, and we've chatted with you, and you've volunteered some of your time already to come in and help us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you have
So we
any?
should,
we
we should probably
actually-
just say that, you know, we
Process.
did get some proposals,
Mhm.
for the appointment, to fill until town meeting.
Yes.
And then, Patty came in to sort of give me some guidance on, you know, accounts payable, accounts receivable, because we needed to get caught up, which I so greatly appreciate. And so we received the 3 proposals, and I think you all sort of decided on.
Yeah. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to spend time with Patty, and we spoke twice, and she stood out as an excellent candidate for the role, and we appreciate you raising your hand, and in a time where urgency around the role was important. So yeah, we're excited to appoint you for a solid 3 weeks prior to the town meeting. Yeah, it is like 3 weeks
Yeah.
until town meeting.
And you did fill out the petition and will be on the ballot, I think,
Yes,
right?
we did.
For election.
Yes. Well,
in
thank
March.
Julie for that one, running around,
Yeah.
getting signatures for me.
And so in what capacity are we proposing that Patty
Well,
will be working
I think the
during that?
proposal was, I think,
term.
19 and a half hours a week for the next 3 weeks.
Yes,
And as a contractor, not as, I mean,
as a
As-
contractor.
as-
An appointed
not as a-
treasurer, but as a
contractor.
Contract.
1099 contractor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Does anyone have any questions for Patty? Does Patty have any questions for us?
I do not.
Do we hear a motion to appoint Patty as the interim treasurer?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. So appointed.
Hey,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Welcome.
If you want, we can chat tomorrow about what you want to look at for a schedule and
Okay,
all that stuff.
sounds good.
Get you caught up.
All right.
Okay, thanks
Thanks.
Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Okay. We are moving right along to the, sorry?
Curious about the next. I'm curious if people are thinking they're going to show up at 7:20 for more of the
Yeah.
4th of July. I'm curious if we should switch the
I
capital
think
budget and the
we
4th
could
of July.
quickly do
Yeah.
the
Good
capital
idea.
budget. I was just gonna suggest the
Okay.
same. That sounds good to me. Harvey had a couple of suggestions and was not able to make the
Oh.
last budget meeting due to a flight change.
Yes, I was stuck in airport messes in Europe.
So just from a logistical perspective, the last meeting that you missed, we voted on the budget for this year because the town report was going to press.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of us was terribly happy with the bottom line. So what's happened in the meantime is Harvey has some suggestions for changes we could make. How does that process work at this point? How would that work at this point?
We would need to offer an amendment to the article as presented on the town meeting warning on the floor. And that amendment to the article to pass the budget would consider any adjustments.
Okay. So in the town report,
It
at
won't
town
have
meeting,
this, yeah.
right, whatever,
Yeah.
regardless of what's decided here tonight, town report will still say
It's already
what it
printed.
said when we
That's
get,
it.
exactly. Just
Yeah.
letting everybody know that.
Yeah. So the only items I wanted to explore in the capital budget were, well, with the objective of keeping it flat year over year, budget-wise, could we explore paying for the bridge repairs with the existing funds in the capital account of 516,000 without adding the 195 for that bridge repair into this year's budget? Was my first question. I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about that bridge repair, but there is a lot of money in that account. And it seems to me that we could use some of that to pay for the repair.
So the actual repair is quoted at 389.5, right?
Yep.
And we have 516.
516. It would draw down the balance, but we can't pay for everything every year. I think having a capital account, now would be the time to use it.
So if we were to do that, it would bring that account down just around to 116,000 or so, right?
Yeah.
That would be the account balance going forward.
100, yeah.
Did you have other proposals as well?
Yes, so to get it to flat, you'd need to find another 100,000, and so the thought was either using the existing 110,000 in the town improvements. Well, the sidewalks, were the sidewalks 200,000? How much is the total sidewalk?
200,000.
It's 200, so use the existing 100 of the 110 in the account and only put 100 in the budget instead of 200, which would draw that fund down, but again, it would allow us to keep the budget flat year over year.
So we'd end up with just 10,000 in the
Right.
town improvements?
We would have to fill it next year.
I feel like town improvements is one of those lines that we keep saying, that could go in there and that could go in there.
I mean,
I don't have that in front of us. I wish I did have, what is it that we keep saying could, but
Could go in there.
I
we
worry
paid women
that
lamp fare out of it.
we did pay them, but I mean, for this coming year, I thought there were some other things that we talked about. And I could go back through my notes, but I would worry about,
Keeping it so low.
yeah.
Well, the other
that
alternative for the 100,000 would
That's
be,
so vast.
yeah, I'm sorry. The other alternative would be to fund less in, 100,000 less in paving. So put 340 more in instead of 440, which would bring you to essentially 800,000 in the balance as opposed to 900, which would be another alternative. I don't know what
Yeah,
the expenses for the projects on hand, but the last 2 years we spent 380 and 378.
Well,
Out of
it's
here.
Way, it was,
Yeah,
yeah, out
yeah.
of here it was way more than that. Last year was
It's
840,000
7,
for Plunkton.
So the rest came out of the operating budget?
Correct.
Because that's how we were funding it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've always, I feel like the town of Warren has always been, our roads are kind of our baby, and I would hate to see us underfund paving.
Well,
I'd
and I
rather
think-
not see that.
I think there's a larger discussion here, which is what is our tolerance for drawing down these accounts? And historically, we have been conservative insofar as having strong fund balances, and that has proven to our benefit in times of large weather events, in particular, like if we were to do as suggested with bridge repairs, and we saw a huge high water event that took out a bridge somewhere else, we would not be able to pay for that repair out of that account, which we have historically been able to do.
Yeah.
So personally, it makes me really nervous to use those balances down so far.
What about not doing the bridge repair this year?
That was something
I know we've discussed
talked
that a little
about.
bit.
Could we put the bridge repair off a year, do the sidewalk, and wait another year for the bridge repair?
Spread them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of trying to do
I
them
mean,
both
it's
in
a
one
year with an awful lot, I mean, you got a garage, you have an awful lot of reappraisal, there's a lot going on this year. It seems like anything we can do to keep the capital budget flat would be
And-
helpful.
Right, and the sheer volume of projects, just remembering that many projects is a lot for
Yeah.
everybody too, for the town. So it might behoove us in both ways.
I think we could have a conversation with the contractor that estimated the cost of that project
Yeah.
on the reliability of the bridge for another year. And we know, and just should remind ourselves that the more we put it off, the more expensive it will likely become.
I thought that when he looked at it, he recommended, he didn't say it was a failure situation.
It's not a failure situation, but we got an unsatisfactory report from the state. And he basically said that, the longer we put it off and kick the can,
Yeah.
the more expensive it's gonna be down the road. So,
But
you
that's
know,
not the only
it's
bridge
not-
in town that we have concerns about, right?
that was the only one that got an unsatisfactory, report from the
Oh, okay.
state. Some of them are in fair condition, but we didn't get any that were below the unsatisfactory, except for that one.
Okay.
Joel, Kaylee, thoughts?
I think my personal view is that I would hate to push off the bridge repair. I know we have a lot of things going on, but it seems like it's just gonna cost more money down the road. Why not work on it now?
And what are your thoughts on the capital account as far as the amounts that we're contributing and the balances remaining?
I like having a healthy capital budget for the reasons you laid out, Devin. I do think that given the current times we are in and the need to be a little conservative, I like the idea of maybe shifting some of the funding per what Harvey's saying.
I mean, you can still
I'm-
do the bridge, it's just a matter of whether you draw down the account or not. It's-
But, yeah,
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Right.
say, even at
You have 500,000.
516,
Yeah.
even if we did the bridge.
Listen, I mean, we are in a very nice
And not
position
fund
relative
it.
to other towns.
Yeah.
And that's great. And a credit to accumulating funds in the past, but there's a lot going on. We're spending a lot of money this year.
Joel?
I think we should do the bridge repair sooner than later. This seems like a wise move, and whether we use the money like Harvey's suggesting and draw down the account, like I'm not an accountant, I can't tell you what I feel about that. It seems, you know, we have the money there, we should use it. And I understand wanting to have reserves, but at some points, you're also gonna make doing a lot of other projects this year too. So just have to balance it around a little bit. If it dips down this year, then
Build it back up.
we'll build it back
Build
up.
it back up.
Does anybody in the crowd have thoughts that they'd like to share?
What's the history of your 500,000? What have you spent in the last 10 years? What is the fluctuation of that account? So how much have we had to rely on it over the last 10 years?
How much have we pulled from what, bridge repair?
Andy?
2,000 and
Yeah, I know. Andy?
Andy, do you know the answer to that
Off the top of your
question?
head?
What are we putting in it this year?
Well, we were proposing to put 195,000 into it to cover the bridge repair, which will be 389.5.
Which bridge?
The one at the end of Main
North
Street
Main.
on the north end. So not quite fully funding it, but half.
We have not spent anything on bridges in the
North
last
Main
2
Street
years.
Bridge, that's a pretty important bridge.
Yeah.
I would definitely, before spending the money in entirety out of the account. So to answer Kevin's question though, if we put 150 to 200 in every year and you have 500, so there's been probably 2 or 3 years since it's been used heavily.
Yeah.
And it probably is used at about that rate where it builds up and then we spend it down. So it's always good to have something left in the tank. But I think that's a bridge that you can't lose. So
Yeah.
I would not put it off a year.
In 2025, we budgeted 25,000 into that account. Do you recall, Andy, if that was lower than usual?
No, that's
or-
probably usual. I think we probably, when we see something coming, we probably jack it up a little bit. And I thought it was more than that, but it could be that we lowered it because we were putting a lot of money in the last few years into our war chest to build a town garage and to do the planning piece of that.
Right.
So a lot of our extra capital reserves went for that fund. But I think that I would probably take a look at the last 10 years and see what we put in and then, you know, scale it up because everything, like you say, costs more.
How about our new treasurer? Do you have any thoughts?
Not going in blind, but I think I have to look at the numbers.
That's fine.
I do think
Yeah,
the bridge is
Josie.
important and, you know, it should be fixed.
The, all of the changes that you're suggesting, putting into an amendment, roughly how much of a change, like, either in terms of percentage or in terms of amount, in terms of the total budget, would that represent? Because there is a certain limit beyond which you're gonna wanna reissue a warning. Like, in general, and it's sort of a rule of thumb rather than a legal guideline, but the recommendations from VLCT are to not, if you have a budget or any type of other expenditure that's being voted on at the meeting, to limit amendments to 10% plus or minus, without reissuing a warning. Anyway, so I'm
Yeah,
just sort of
that's,
wondering.
thank you.
Thank you.
But also too, one of the things, to Josie's point, one of the things that I found out today, is that when you're moving funds from one reserve to another reserve fund or the general fund, that you let voters know, you know, at town meeting that that's happening.
So that's, are we talking about doing that though?
Well, so that was one of Harvey's
It's another-
initial recommendations, is that we take, you know, something from here, put it, you know, towards the bridge repair so that we didn't have to put the 195 in there.
Move something.
But it doesn't sound like,
That's an amendment too.
right, exactly.
Yeah. So I think
Because they voted
you're
to
a
put
better
certain-
mental calculator than I am. But if we're talking about
It's less than 10%.
300,000, we're
Yeah.
good.
It's 8%.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you getting the 300? So,
Well,
We
he's just
talked about
talking
the
about sort of trying to level fund.
no, I know, but
Well, it'll be 195, so do the bridge anyway. It's just a question of whether you pay for it from existing funds or.
right, so if you, so
New
let's
funds.
say we didn't add anything to the capital for bridge.
Right, so
So
you
take 190 off.
get 195 off.
Yeah.
So you're then 100,000 more than last year.
Right.
And so the question is, do you then just get to level funding by drawing down on town improvements? I mean, it's always better to have money than not have money. The question is, you know, how much are you asking taxpayers to kick in extra?
So, and to what Rebecca was referring to with respect to moving things from one account to
Right.
another, Harvey was saying, you know, there is a good fund balance at the end. So in the event that something occurred and we needed funds that were no longer in an account, we could potentially move them around. Am I
Right.
getting that right?
Well,
I think
it's
that's
just a
what we
big
had
number, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, the money is there, it's
Right.
just not necessarily allocated for the thing that we may find we need it for.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm not terribly comfortable with that. I think that is potentially a damaging precedent to set, just moving funds from one to another.
Well,
And it sounds like it's not
have to do that
as,
ahead of time anyway.
Yeah, that's
We
what
would
it
have to
sounds
plan
like.
for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I was just clarifying
Put
where that
on-
came from.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if we're gonna come to a decision, or if we have food for thought and we wanna revisit it, or how would you guys like to proceed?
Well, it was helpful discussion for me. I wasn't part of the last one, so,
Yeah,
you know, if we want to do it, I think that's fine. I think it's a better situation to come in, especially if we held all the department heads to level funding, if we held ourselves to it too. That said, this is what's printed, and
yeah. Which just means that we have some more time to consider it if we do wanna consider it. I would be amenable to maybe reducing what we're contributing to bridge repairs, not removing it entirely. And I'm really not comfortable with funding paving any less. Because we'll use that account, like that.
I'd probably be comfortable not funding the bridge repair, but I wouldn't take anything from either of the other town improvements or paving. So that would be
I
under 95
mean, it's
or
just a matter
200. It wouldn't be
of funding it
level
next year.
funding, but
Yeah,
Right.
it's spreading it out so that
yeah.
the
It's a
year-over-year
big
impact
hit.
is
Yeah,
less.
in 1 year, yeah.
You know, and Andrew and I talked about going to the state to try to see if we can get funding for the bridge repair. So,
Okay,
Always worth a try,
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, even if they only fund part of it,
right.
so.
We think about it and revisit next week, or vote on it now, whatever you want.
what do you think?
I just told you how I would vote if I were to vote now, so.
Yeah.
If you wanna, if we wanna try to find another 100,000, I would need time to think about that, or somebody'd have to put something forward.
Yeah,
I think it's a simpler message, just do the 195.
Kaylee, Joel?
You're saying the simple message to just not fund the 195, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we'd still do the bridge repair,
Right.
but
Right.
use existing funds and
Potentially get some grant money?
potentially get grant money. And to the extent we need to, true it up next year.
I'm okay with that.
Do we want to put anything in there? Like, if we were level funding it, technically that line, we would put 25,000 in. No?
No.
Why wouldn't we?
Why
wouldn't-
would we?
Why, well, so that we're contributing something to an account that, you know, is like one of the major accounts that gets drawn down in the event of a high water event.
25,000 isn't going to make a difference on that, probably. 116 is what it would end up as, right? I mean, if we're trying to, if we were trying to get to level funding and can only take off 195, find 195 to take off, I would just go ahead and, I wouldn't put anything in it. That's where I would go.
What do you think, Joel?
You know, this is my first time doing this, so I don't really know. just trying to learn my way through it. go off of what you guys overall feeling over the past years have felt like, so.
Well, I'd be more comfortable if there were something going in there knowing that we want to spend $400,000 out of it. I don't know how we level fund a capital budget on improvements that continue to cost more year over year. That doesn't seem realistic to me.
And we're not talking
Right,
about.
that's
level
why
funding.
that's why the idea of level funding here doesn't make sense to me. Knowing that it just costs more each year anyway, and as we push it off, it costs more. I'd feel more comfortable replenishing that account with at least something. I mean, I would leave it as it is if it were up to me, so. I'd be more comfortable with contributing $25,000 or $50,000 into that account.
So Harvey, with that idea in mind that things continue to like grow and cost more, how do you, like as an accountant, see, this budget over years sort of adapting to that? Like how do we be flexible in a way like that to accommodate that?
Well, I think you manage as best you can. The budget as it stands is going up 25% from 1136 to 1433. That's a lot more than inflation. It's just bringing it back down in a year where there's a lot of other stuff getting built. If you want to do part of it, I think that's fine. I simply am raising the point that we should hold ourselves to the same standard.
I hear that.
Just, I have fire department garage doors on here. Was that added or
I think we
since the last budget, from the last?
put that under
Or did it
building
just-
renovations.
So did 20K get added from?
I think we felt like there was enough money in
We
there.
did, okay.
Yeah.
With
Alright.
the 60,000 going in,
Thanks.
it's at 212 now.
Well, if we want to do something, we need a motion, and if we don't, we can table it and keep it in our back pocket for town meeting, or discuss it again at the next meeting.
I mean, I'll move to reduce the capital funding by the 195,000, understanding we'll still do the bridge repair, and to the extent we need to true it up next year, so be it, but it'll at least bring the increase in our capital budget down to a more manageable number.
And the motion, just to clarify, is to offer an amendment at town meeting. To that extent, is that right?
Yes. To suggest an amendment to the capital budget, which is Article,
Well, it would be the entire
The
budget.
budget, yeah.
It affects the bottom line. So, I don't know what article it is.
I don't have the wording in front of me.
It is Article 1.
Article 1,
Yep.
which would reduce that number. Camilla, since you have that in front of you, would you mind? The motion is to reduce the
The total capital budget
total
of,
capital budget from 1,433,000, 1.433
It's right here now, to 1.238.
to 1.238. What does that do to the rest of the line?
So the total gross would be 5.216. 453.
Which would make the total gross budget 5.216053, representing 7.59%, leaving us with a net increase of 6.89% at 4.807369.
so did a motion just get made?
Yes,
That's the motion.
that's the motion.
That's the motion, all right, I second.
Any further discussion?
I think to the point made earlier, I would like to see, like, just for town meeting, if that is a motion that is made, I would like us to do some digging to look at the last 10 years of spend out of that, just to be able to offer that as discussion, as is probably going to come up on the floor. That makes sense.
Sure.
Sorry, Kaylee, just to clarify, is that an amendment to the,
No, it's
you're
not an
just asking
amendment. As part of this discussion, it's making me feel like we need to look into that a little bit more.
should we look into that before we pass the motion?
Yeah, it seems like we should wait until
I
our next
think
meeting.
so.
Do it next week?
Okay.
Yeah.
Would
Or
it be
2
all right
weeks.
to table the motion
Yeah,
until
sure.
the next meeting and we could get a little historic data on what we spent out of that account?
Sounds good.
Okay. Motion tabled. Any other conversation about the capital budget before we move on? Thank you, Harvey, for presenting that. Okay, we're gonna move on to the Warren 4th of July. Ben Olds is here to help us work through this process, and he's provided a couple of slides to help us keep track of what our options are. And would you like to join us? Please. Okay, so this is me. I have to do
Ben?
this, right? Share.
I'm gonna grab my computer. I brought it. Might as well have it.
Oh, look at you. Wow, you got it all up and ready for me. I just
I'll never look that.
Never. All right. So the decision we need from the group today is how to proceed with regards to the band. Situation is Jewel House has historically played on the porch of the Warren store. George Dorsey, who owns the store, ultimately gets to decide who plays on that porch. Complication is last year he booked the Grift to play because he was worried about Jewel House, the size of the Jewel House band on a structurally unsound porch. Problem is he came to me after I had confirmed Jewel House, and so I asked him last year, wait a year, let Jewel House play one more year if you're willing. Because my plan this year, as you know, was to move everything up to the parking lot. He agreed, so this year he went ahead with the Grift, because that's what we had agreed to last year. He didn't, so go ahead, down to the key question. So the key question is how should we proceed with the music at the end of the parade now that we are not moving things up to the municipal lot and we're still having it the existing route. So we have 4 options as I could see them. I've listed them in order of the top one I recommend all the way down to the last one, which I don't recommend. Top one, have Jewel House play on a flatbed truck pulled in front of the store followed by a Grift. I think this was your idea. The pros of this is extends the dancing in the street for 2 bands instead of 1. The drawback, it could be crammed in the streets, right? Where would people dance? Also, this says requires George's consent. I've since heard from George, he does not like this idea, which isn't a deal breaker, right? He doesn't get to decide whether we have a band on the street, but you know, it would continue to erode that relationship. Second option, have Jewel House play on a flatbed truck at the end of the parade that travels then up to Brooks Field and finishes up there. The idea here is we would draw some of the crowd away from the Warren store and split the crowd. We're gonna have almost 6,000 people this year, so that could be a good thing, give more people access to music. The drawback is Jewel House isn't excited about that option. They've declined it. Doesn't mean we can't talk them into it, or try to. And there's also a risk that the crowd doesn't travel up to Brooks Field. And then we've got this great band playing in front of nobody. The third option is have the Grift play at the Warren store and just don't have Jewel House perform. That's probably the easiest option. The pro is it keeps the tradition of having a single band play at the store. The drawback is Jewel House has a long history of playing the parade and a big following, and it's a shame to lose them. I personally am a huge fan of theirs. I don't think it's the end of the world if they don't play the parade though. And that would, the other benefit that's not listed here is that would obviously be George's preference. So we would make nice with an important constituent. And the option that I least recommend, but it is absolutely an option, is we reroute the whole parade. So this is kind of the nuclear option. We bring it up Flatiron Road, we bypass the Warren store in general, then we get to decide who's the band And we don't even give George a permit to have the Griff play on his porch. And everything's up here at the municipal lot. Jewel House plays, we have all the food vendors up here. So the benefit is we have total control at that point. We don't have to make,
I think if you did them perpendicular
Yeah.
to the town hall,
Yeah.
that you could fit it that way.
Oh, instead of
Parallel?
parallel.
Or,
Yeah,
yeah, angled in,
Angled
I
in.
would say, yeah,
Yeah,
diagonal in.
because if you have them come in front over here and then go in front, they can angle and then they
Yeah.
back out and then they go down the south entrance.
Right.
Right.
And then the porta potties go in between the building and the green like they used to?
yeah. I have a question, and don't jump down my throat for asking it. The set that the band plays is only like an hour. Is it that big a deal to tell those who use the disabled parking that they just have to wait an hour? They can't leave? It's that big a deal?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I believe that's an ADA violation,
Okay.
just saying.
That's a big deal.
Strike that from the record.
So then where do the food trucks go?
We'll figure it out, and we'll put
Yeah.
in a proposal. I didn't know this was an option until now, so I don't have it all prepared, but
Yeah, no, I
can
was
map this
imagining
up.
we were brainstorming, but that's fine, that can happen elsewhere. Quill, you had a
So I have another question, and, because simultaneously to what's going on down here is, are we also then proposing that we're not doing any improvements on what goes on up at Brooks Field? Are we leaving it as is? Are we doing anything with it? And I guess that's another bone of contention, I guess, puts a negative spin on it, which I don't mean to do, but again, like if we're going to increase what goes on up there, what are we doing to draw people
Right.
up there?
Right.
And again, looking at, and I mentioned this at a couple other sittings that I've been in, is if the goal is to increase capacity, you know, put more food vendors so that people are more happy, put music so that people are happy, create more kids' activities so that people are happy. So that we can basically accommodate the crowd that's here with the idea that it still has room to expand. Where does Brooks Field fall into all of that now and let's just say the next 2, 5, 10 years?
I'm still envisioning an enhanced Brooksfield experience for families.
But what are you doing to draw them up there? Why would anyone here go up there when everything is happening here?
I think the same reason they've gone up every year.
Right.
But they're complaining about what's going on up there.
Well, they're complaining there's not enough stuff up there. Now there'll be enough stuff.
Right, but like what's the, like I'm
like what's
still
our
not seeing
advertising pitch?
What's the, yeah, I mean,
Well, it's gonna be, I mean, I see what we've just proposed as more of the same down here. So we're not taking anything away from Brooksfield and moving it down here. We don't have what we want at Brooksfield. We need to add that. This, to me, is just more party, so it's gonna be that group of people.
wait, I
rather
guess my
than-
question is why are we trying to create what I would see down the road potentially as a limited more party down here when we have an abundance of space up there for more party up there? And I'm not saying get rid of what goes on down here, but maybe give a little more equal opportunity for both sites and taking the benefits of both opportunities for growth.
So this is option 2 that you're advocating for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, bring the band up there and draw people up to Brooksfield.
right, and also take some other key players that we have, I think, in the community that may or may not be on board. I think that's out there being investigated currently as to other draws to get people up there. And I totally get, like, who wants to go up and, what band wants to go up and play to nobody? I totally get that. But I guess my point is, it feels like Jewel House has a following. They are part of, we have an opportunity to take some really good energy and put it up there. And I'm not saying that now you're gonna be abandoned, is how do we then take your group and entice them to go up there and listen? And I guess what comes to mind is American Flatbread used to be a huge part of the Warren 4th of July. Can we put American Flatbread up there? So now you've got 2 things that have been a part of this event for a very long time. You're bringing them up there, they've got opportunity for growth. as opposed to trying to figure out how to continue to make nice with George. He gets what he wants. We have an opportunity to take what we have and improve on it. And I'm not saying like the first year, we probably won't get 100% dialed in, but I think that next year you build on what you've got the following year. Like there's room for growth. If you do it down here, I'm just feeling like if it's really successful, where do people go next? Like we have an opportunity here if we're gonna change things up to do this. And again, how can we create a creative, positive flow of, hey, we're gonna move this band up there because there's more space. And we brought up like, there's a beer tent up there. If we put more food vendors up there, we place the band, you know, whether it's on a flatbed or we create a stage, people can drink beer. The kids can be entertained, there's plenty of food, and you've got a great band. We've got time to build on that. To me, it feels like down here, we're gonna be like, okay, who can we cram into this little corner over here, and who can we cram into this little corner over here? And we've got some potential sound issues. You put the band up there, you're not gonna have sound competition.
I think
So
to add
again,
on
just,
that, it would also, for those families that have kids that maybe are older enough that they don't want to climb on the church's playground, then you were taking the whole family up there and the kids go here and the parents go here, and I don't know, it just seems to make more
it just
sense.
seems like you have
And there's more room.
choices, and there's more
You don't have to
room.
worry about it if you have 4,000 people up there because there's room for 4,000 people.
Right, and again, I think
Here's another
that,
story.
yeah, and I think part of it too is that sometimes it's so crowded and congested. I mean, if you try and wait for a lemonade, how long are you waiting in line? And I don't think that that's because there's not a variety of drinks, it's just, there's no space to put, so you have lemonade down here and you have lemonade up, you know what I mean? And again, you can we have an opportunity to say, let's revision this and how would we like this space to be recreated? Instead of kind of taking a teeny tiny little box and trying to.
We hear you. I think we
I
hear
guess
you.
that's
Yeah.
kind of, and again, I'm not saying, I'm not here, but like how can we work together to kind of envision, and if we don't envision it, okay, we.
Yeah, I guess there's an unknown, which is how many people will go up to Brooksfield to enjoy Jewel House. If we knew the answer to that, this would be easy. Like if we could get a lot of people to go up there, then I think it's a no-brainer. That's what we do. I think the fear is we won't be able to get a lot of people up there, and then we've squandered an opportunity because all the action's down here. Like we know if we put Jewel House down here, a lot of people will enjoy them.
Yeah.
The question is if we put them there.
Tim, Grace, what are your thoughts?
I know for a fact that the band, their preference is to be part of the dance party.
I
They're
get that.
not real receptive to going up to Brooksfield, however great an idea that is, and I get what you're saying. So we're gonna make some changes, you know, it's a good opportunity to make a push for Brooksfield.
Right.
Totally.
Right, and I mean, I think that you're right, that there is no guarantee.
Yeah, it's the risk.
It is a risk.
This is gonna be a
But we've got
transition year.
time
But
to-
this is gonna be a transition year for us to break from, I mean, this will be a big break from tradition to
Yes.
begin with. So I guess I might see this as a step, and it might give us a little bit of information about, is it the Warren Store gig, you know, that everybody is really so attached to? Or is it the party goes where, you know,
Where Jewel House
where the band is? We would get that information this year. We will get some of that information this year. I think we're also expecting this to be a bigger number
It's a
year,
Saturday.
probably than the ones going forward.
250 on Saturday.
Yeah, so we could
Double unrest.
probably, you know, expect that there will be more overall attendance than there will be in the future. I mean, I like, there are parts of that vision that I like. I still really hold on to the idea of making sort of a different vibe up there that it always has been, which is, I mean, it was more of a carnival kind of a thing
Yeah.
for a while, and this was the dance party, you know. Granted, there was drinking, so that added something different, but so, you know, I'd really like to, I think you had some wonderful ideas about tying in all of these, you know, special interest groups who come to the town, to all the towns, asking for money every year. How about using that platform up there as a time to say, hey, you ask us for this money, why don't you have a booth up there? Why don't you, have a dunking booth and advertise who you are and what you do and raise some money and that kind of thing. I think there's a lot of opportunity for that up there. So I'm okay this year with keeping the band down here, but I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Maybe next year we reconsider.
I agree with both of you, and I think that your vision is great, Quail, and that that opportunity isn't gone if we don't do that this year. I also feel there's value in what Camilla's saying about that experience being a little different. I know that there are people who are averse to the band and the music, right? And it's calmer and quieter up there, and they like that. So that's one of those elements of providing a different environment. And also I'm thinking, I've suggested goats and horses and all kinds of things, and they might not like the music either. I don't know. So I think it's an opportunity to try something.
I think by doing that, I agree that both are good, but at the same time, this will probably be the largest crowd. And if you base it off of this year, next year, you do something different, you may not see it. You might see a completely different response because it's not the 250th year. It won't be on a Saturday. You might not draw 6,000 people or 7,000 people, so could be a hard way to gauge. So either way, my shoot's on foot.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. I want to loop back to something that you said, though, Jeff, about the road closure piece, because we, the town, are sponsoring a party that will still be happening in 2 places. And I would like it to still be safe for children and families and adults to move from space to space. And part of that requires the road closure so that there's unfettered access for humans from the village center to Brooks Field. So I think we are still closing Flatiron and that section of Brook Road in order, right?
No, we've never closed. We've had Main Street closed after the parade, but we've never had Flatiron closed.
Doesn't it stay closed at the bottom of the school road?
I think you might be thinking of Main Street to Brooks, but the Flatiron cutoff is open. That's how people get out.
Yeah, that's how people get out, so.
And that would stay.
So realistically, I mean, I don't see where the people moving to Brooks Field, the sheriff's department doesn't really protect them that much because it's basically just the people from Flatiron and Main Street to Main Street and Brook. That's it.
So Brook Road opens and Flatiron opens after the parade?
Yeah. But
we're just walking down the street, so nobody can go anywhere. It always feels like the street is closed. That's okay.
There's usually more people than cars, so the people.
Yeah, people win. I love that kind of traffic
Just go a
calming.
little slower.
So what about the road closure piece? Jeff raised a question about sheriff's department. Is that something that we need to solve now?
I think it's gonna be solved later. It's just a matter of if Main Street is gonna be closed not for the Warren festivities, but for the Pitcher Inn's festivities, then to me, it's more on the Pitcher Inn to be responsible for the sheriff, paying for the sheriff's department than the town, because it's not our band, it's not our party.
So that's something to think about in terms of this vendors piece and all of that. How much, if we're moving up here,
Or
are we
it's a shared
literally
cost.
moving up here and letting George have his own party down there?
That's not how he would see it though, because we're still gonna have vendors that aren't the Warren store in his lot. We're still gonna have portalets in his lot. He's gonna consider he's providing a band that can work with the structural integrity of the porch. So he would see it as, why would you penalize me for doing that? I'm giving the town a gift. I'm paying for a band out of my own pocket that can actually work on my porch. You can't then charge me for a fraction of the sheriff's department.
Well, we can.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have to have a band
And
out
he
there. We
also
have a
got to
band
be
up
part of
here.
the porta potties because as far as the festival permit, you've got to provide porta potties.
Right.
For pancake breakfast, you got to have a porta potty.
I think it sounds like it's a different of perspective, that he thinks he's providing something for the town.
Yeah, I think it would be perceived as a aggressive move with somebody we're trying to make nice with. And for what? I mean, for the sheriffs, first of all, the sheriffs don't cost that much, and second of all, we're only talking about the part of the sheriff's fees that is that last hour. So it's a fraction of a small amount anyways.
How much is that? How much are the
I can look it
sheriffs?
up real quick unless you.
How, you keep saying an hour, how much time are we talking about? I'm pretty sure the band plays for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Am I wrong?
So like 2
2 or 3?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, I thought it was until 2.
2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so it's, okay.
Yeah.
That's longer than I realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's helpful. I didn't realize that.
11:30.
I'm always up at
Usually close at 3 o'clock.
Brooks Field at that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at least 2 hours.
Thank you.
2 to 2.5.
Yeah, it's like 11.
And then the whole crowd is screaming for
Almost
encores
3
for
hours.
like a half an hour.
Is it? Okay. If it's 3 hours, the police cost about $5,500. So
That's a
Total?
chunk of change.
total for the whole day.
Yeah,
So there's a portion of that that would be the last 3 hours. 3 hours multiplied. Yeah. Okay. That's different.
yeah.
Because it's at least 2, if not 3 deputies. So, times however many hours, so it would probably add up more than people think.
Yeah, if it's 3 hours, I think it would.
And that's not something we need to decide tonight, but we've given you a direction to move in, right?
It is a decision that may blow the whole thing up though.
Yeah.
So again, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, I get it. But again, like, it feels like, why are we being so insistent on going where it kind of feels like it's
We're not wanted.
we're not wanted?
Going here, you mean?
Well,
No.
yeah, I mean, just this whole discussion is kind of about, let's make nice with George, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but like, it feels like we're working uphill. We're working with someone that
Doesn't want to work with us.
doesn't really share what we're doing. And I'm not, it doesn't make him a bad person, it just feels like that's the reality of
Well,
it.
you asked the question, why are we doing it? My answer is, about a month ago, I presented an option to move the festivities up here, and we got a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
Because the nostalgia and the value of being at the store. So I'm trying to honor what the crowd wanted, which is have some kind of connection to the store.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna do that, we have to make nice with the owner of the store.
It seems,
That's why.
it seems to me like we're just trying to solve a problem for this year, right? And if we think about next year, that's another thing. But right now, there's the nostalgia for the area that is Main Street, which is really easy to close off because we can go circumvent it around Flatiron back to Brook. So it has this really nice location that people are really attached to, and it's like a safe enclosed area that feels good to be in. And I think moving this band up here is an idea, and it seems to solve a problem. I mean, I personally, I'd like to see them back to back down there, but Devin's brought up the point that would make the event too long, and maybe it's a safety issue. But
George doesn't like that either.
well, I mean,
more
there's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
It makes it also makes for a very long day.
well, I mean, people are out there the whole day anyways. But like, I mean, there's a push and a pull. Like, George doesn't get to dictate everything, and so us extracting ourselves up here and just solving the problem is one way of dealing with it. But we haven't actually, like, he's not here, and we're not able to have a conversation with him about sort of what we really want as a town and the character of this event. I mean,
Yeah, but that isn't necessarily just because he isn't here. It's because he doesn't want to have that conversation
okay.
in our experience.
Yeah, I mean, Devin's explicitly asked him to talk, and he's said no.
Okay.
Nothing's come up.
So I hear you that we are problem solving for this year, and that doesn't mean we've solved the problem.
Right.
Because next year the problem will arise again. And the only way to avoid having the problem year after year is to go with the nuclear option. Or the modification of it, which Jeff is proposing, which is don't pay for any of the sheriff's fees.
See, I disagree.
Don't close the road.
I disagree.
Fend for yourself.
I think there's another solution. I think we could put the band down there on the back of a flatbed, not have the band on the porch at all, and just have one band. You could have Jewel House play in the middle of the street, at the end of the road, facing all the way down Main Street, have lots of people in there, pack it all in
If you
there.
own the Warren store, I'd be all for it, but that's the person who owns the store.
But
we own the street.
Right, we own the street. We would not be able to be in the parking area. There would be none, that is his parking.
So they can close off the parking lot, but we still own the street. We still have the thing. We can still do what, if we wanted to, we can have exactly what we want right down there.
And if we do that, the likelihood of fencing going up so that we have no access to the porch at the Pitcher Inn or the Warren store parking lot or the Warren store is high.
Yeah,
that's right. And the response from that is going to be really good. You'll see a whole bunch of people be really angry at a person, and they will cave to that anger.
I'm trying not to start a fight. Get people really angry. That's my goal.
As a vendor in the past, I've been in the parking lot every time, and there's only like 3 of us. It's not like the parking lot of the Warren store is utilized that much. I'd be just as happy to be up here with the band, of course, but we don't need to use the parking lot. One year he told us that we could not be there.
Right.
And we made do. We went elsewhere. When somebody went, like by the post office, there was somebody over here.
But notice we're circling back on an option that we've already rejected, which is moving things up here. The town had a visceral reaction to that. The town has expressed a desire to keep activity at the one store.
That's fine, but I'm just saying you're all talking about the parking lot. The parking lot isn't that, important.
So you're speaking to Joel's suggestion that you could put a band at the end of the street, not on the porch, which we didn't consider. I don't love the idea of going backwards in this conversation.
That's still the nuclear option though.
That's still the nuclear option.
It is. It is.
So you're either gonna pick a fight, or you're gonna make nice, or you're gonna put the fight off till next year.
Yeah, that.
Fight next year and do your homework in between.
Yeah.
I mean, we do learn something by making the change that we're talking about making.
Yeah, there
It
might
gives
not-
us a chance to learn
Sure, we
some
can try it out.
things,
We
and-
might not need to fight. Like if this works, there's no need to even have a fight.
Right.
Exactly. This may
And you've
resolve
got all
itself.
leverage. He thinks he has the
I also
leverage.
think
Not
with Quayle's
the real leverage,
earlier
it's all here.
Yeah, Kaylee, please.
With Quayle's earlier point about a band up at Brooks Field, I feel like that's a good, this next year as the Recreation Committee and the PTO and all of them are exploring their options for a shade structure or a pavilion of some kind up there. Maybe that's also just something to put on their radar. It's like future second usage of having a band. Post parade. Just saying, like,
Yeah, it's
I
all
like the
good
big,
gathering.
I like the, like, yes, this is a transition year for us and we're figuring that out, but I think long-term vision of like, we don't want Brooksfield events to die and we need to figure out how to just move forward with our situation right now.
One more point I just want to put on the table. George's cooperation is worth more than just the 3 vendors in his lot. Like the TV records from the Pitcher Inn, the radio station broadcasts from the Warren store porch. People use the store a lot for obviously restrooms and just a place to get out of the sun. Like it'd be a bigger deal than just losing 3 vendors in the parking lot if we went with the nuclear option.
And to reiterate from a different voice, the townspeople were very clear. They do not want to see that space abandoned for this party. Okay, do we feel good about 2 bands, double the party, double the fun? What is the
Seems like this
double
would be the
income?
year to do it, 250th.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
a
rage.
Saturday, it's gonna probably be plenty of people to.
It's gonna be great.
Big.
And let's think creatively about how we can communicate to the public that things are shifting. And maybe there is an opportunity for a float with people. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Andy.
Promoting activities up there and communicating that Jewel House is moving and maybe they want to be on a float and we could set them up with a sweet trailer and then that moves up here and they're all set up. I don't know.
I'll set
I have
the
one of those.
That's tough, logistically, everything has to be fast and.
I don't have one of those. Yeah, I don't know, let's,
Well, I think this is productive. You've given me an option I think could really work, and doesn't cause a big rift. And I think it's a great year to do that, and let's see how it works.
yeah,
And I'll come back to you on a proposal about where to locate the vendors up here and
yeah,
how to figure out parking. Just get a map of the whole thing, and we'll
yeah.
propose it to you.
And sort of working with the idea of the band being over
Egress.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, yes, John.
Remember your friends at MRV TV, we are here, it's a public access channel. So if you need help promoting this event or publicizing the changes and
Yeah.
looking for input and for help, let us know, we'll come out, we'll film it, and we'll do some interviewing or whatever, just get in touch with Christopher or to me, I'll help out, I love doing
We'll
this.
talk to Devin's
Yeah.
booking agent
Perfect.
to do that interview with her.
I filmed the parade last year and it was a huge honor.
Oh, yeah,
It was
great.
awesome, I'd love to do it again.
The cameraman speaks.
Voice behind the camera.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone in the
Thanks,
crowd
everybody.
who came and participated. Okay, Grace, Tim, it all rests on you guys now. Yeah. Just great to confirm with Colin and Jewel House that they're down and that they feel comfortable and know that we support them and love them.
And that location that we're talking about.
Yeah, and brainstorm with us.
Yeah, it's an overflow crowd, I mean, this could all be right on time,
Yeah,
so.
that's
And
right.
they appreciate the love too,
Good,
community, it's really sweet.
awesome. Okay, are we ready to
As a
move on?
schedule, yes.
Are we really?
Okay, and we did the capital budget. We're on to other business. We have, thank you, Mark, for being here.
Yeah, and I've spoken with George and he agrees with Ben. I mean, it's all on the paper and Ben has voiced his conversation with George. And the bottom line, George wants to preserve the history of it being in the town center across from the store and in between the inn. He wants to preserve that. He just can't handle having a 12-piece band up on the porch.
Yeah.
And so that's where he's coming from. He's not anti-chain or all right, so I understand, and I completely understand, because I work for the man, the friction that exists and the concept that exists. I understand that completely. But I think his view is, Grift is a great band. He's solving the problem with the structural issue of the porch. And he needs to follow through on that because of the liability, the exposure that puts him at. But he doesn't want to alienate the town with the parade. He doesn't, that's not his.
I think it would
good to
be
know.
wonderful if he could have conversation around those things before making unilateral decisions and publishing them in the Valley Reporter.
Was he the author of that?
It would be wonderful to have those conversations ahead of them becoming public and in stone. It would be really great if we could get to that place. I look forward to it.
Cooperative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for being
I'm working
here.
on it.
Yeah.
Thanks so
appreciate it.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye, Patty. Thank you. Okay, bond anticipation note, signatures. Did everybody review? This is just for the interim for the the architectural piece
Architectural,
primarily. And we may not need to use it if we wanted to use the funds out of the town improvement,
Town planning.
town planning
Right, that
balance.
was the note I made to myself, it's town planning.
Town planning, we could use that fund balance and then replenish that with the bond funds if we choose. That, we talked about that last time, I think, Harvey.
That's a good idea.
Town planning, is that what we said?
Yeah.
Yep, 300,000.
300,000 in there.
Yeah, that's great.
So we can sign the note and know that it's available to us. We pay interest on when we draw. If we don't draw, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's good to have.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
okay. Does that feel good to everybody?
Yep.
Do we have a motion to accept this Northfield Savings Bank, Town of Warren Select Board Bond Anticipation Note for $150,000 at an interest rate of 4.25% per annum.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Where do we sign? Above, below,
I
in
think
line?
you sign above.
Above.
Above your name. Keely, can you come down tomorrow-ish sometime and sign this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be here all day.
We're here all night.
Yeah.
Bye, Perry.
Hi, Perry, thank you.
Sullivan
question.
and Powers audit engagement letter.
I read it. It's fine.
Thanks for reading it.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
reading it.
It's dry.
It's the same, I think, year over year for the most part.
Move
Do-
to approve the Sullivan Powers audit engagement letter.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Lehman Lamfair engagement letter for the municipal building space planning. Did everybody get this in your email?
Yeah.
Do we have
Yes.
thoughts, comments, questions?
It seems expensive for what
Yeah,
we're trying to
that's
do,
what I was-
and
My question was 54 hours for option sheets? Seems like a lot of hours to put
Did I not put
into.
it in there? I can print it.
It might be stuck or something. I don't,
It's their letter.
it's not in.
Everything sounded fine till I got to the price, and then it just seemed like a really big number.
Well, if you look at the hours allocated to certain
Yeah.
parts of the project,
It
I was
seemed
sort of
really
like,
high. Yeah.
it seems like a lot. I mean, I get it, it's good to have professionals doing this, not just us going around, well, we can
Right.
go over the, but that's a lot. I just don't know, do we need that level? And is there an option that is not that level of?
I mean, are they digging into architectural stuff? Are they looking
We're not really
at
talking about
load-bearing walls
structural
and moving
things, right?
walls, or?
They were
No,
leaving out.
we were very clear that we wanted to avoid construction.
Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
says in the letter.
They understand that. They did this scan tool thing
Yeah.
where they can then use that to develop floor plans and three-dimensional models of what exists for space. And they asked for information from us, and we talked with each department head about like how they use the space, what are the most important things that they need in their spaces, what do they prefer to have, and what do they need to have, right? Are different things, and we tried to sort of isolate that. I don't know. I work in the world of building and architectural firms, and it's.
I guess the
seems
question
totally
is,
standard
for
me.
$14,000, is this something we should be shopping around? I don't know where you guys got to with them. Did you already, I mean, you
They
just had a
basically came in
preliminary
like-
meeting.
correct, we had a meeting.
But they
Yeah.
did do some.
And they used this tool and gathered information.
I just wonder if there isn't a less expensive way to do
Bye,
that.
Ben, thank you.
That's fair.
An Ellen way to do that, say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ellen doesn't have the
I'm not
time.
talking about
I
Ellen,
did
but I'm
ask.
talking about that equivalent as opposed to an architecture or engineering firm that does gigantic projects all over the place. I don't know. Do you have that letter?
Yeah.
Their engagement letter,
Mhm.
yeah. Just looking at some of it was the 54 hours for option sheets that,
Yeah, study various options for reorganizing the existing space. Create sheets of each option with some descriptors and notes/suggestions. 54 hours.
So maybe there's a world in which we could ask them to pare that down to, I don't know I don't know how many options they're thinking, but are you suggesting that maybe that could take less time, they could provide fewer options?
I'm merely suggesting that's a lot of money, and is that really what we need?
Well, and should we be talking to more than one vendor?
Right, yeah.
I think we
Is there-
figured, because we were already engaged with them under a contract, that we would just,
Do it, yeah.
Continue with them.
Continue with
We
them.
have a wonderful relationship with them. They have
We
been
do,
great.
but we don't, they may not be right for this project. I mean, you know, I love them, I was totally for it. Now I'm looking at the number and going, well, is that really what we need for this project?
I mean,
At that level.
I have to say that I was a little bit shocked by the number as well. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either,
Right.
that's the thing. You know,
Exactly.
Is it gonna be the
Is it gonna
same
be
from somebody
comparable?
else?
Right.
I don't know, but I think it's worth questioning. Again, just, we are in this climate of money, money, money,
know,
money,
it's
money.
nuts.
We're just, you know, everything.
So we could draft an RFP.
No.
Or we can also go back to Steve and be like, oh my gosh, this was way more than we expected.
And/or, yes, but yeah.
Yeah,
Start.
yeah. What could you do for 10?
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we kind of did that with the property management stuff. Like, hey, we're not comfortable with this amount. What could we get for this amount?
Yeah.
And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we're like, well, if I can't do it fully, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it at all.
Yeah.
And he could tell us that, if that's the case.
Right.
I mean, I guess for me, the difference is if we were talking about, if we were asking or planning on some, you know, structural kind of stuff, 100% that's the way you would want to go, engineering. Maybe I don't know what we're looking at, but if it's more of a utilization of existing space, reorg of existing space, that doesn't seem like, to me, it requires that level of
I think there's some of that level that's
Expertise.
required. There, you know, in our conversations, there are load-bearing considerations with filing cabinets. There are methods of storing that make spaces more or less usable. So it definitely, in my mind, falls into the architectural, like more the architectural realm than the engineering or the build,
right.
the build realm.
Right.
The architectural
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
is the piece that I think is really valuable
Yeah.
from them. And what I think comes along with that is the ability to communicate it in a way that we can then digest and process on our own, right? Whereas I don't know how else we would receive that information. Do you get what I'm saying? Like blueprints, 3D modeling, here's how the space could be arranged such that we could then approach it on our own.
There are lots of people who, I mean, everybody uses computer design modeling for that
Lots
kind of thing, so.
Well, architects and engineers do.
Not just that level of architects and engineers, though. I mean,
Okay, right.
I mean,
Other-
so
you're thinking
people who
other
design
architectural
spaces,
firms.
yeah, right. Are there architectural firms, smaller ones maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of overhead in all of those hourly rates.
And I think we were also sort of thinking that, you know, they come into this space not having been here year after year after year, you know, week after week after, so they see it differently than we do somebody in town that, you know, is used to this space, you know, something, that's sort of where I was going with it, was that they could look at it very
Fresh
differently.
eyes. You liked that?
No, I think it's a great idea to do, and it's really just a question of, do we need to talk to more than one person? You know, it just seems like a number big enough that
Yeah.
it's worth
Right.
Yeah.
checking it.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
I
have an
think that's what I'm
opportunity
saying.
with, you know, having a new treasurer, you know, to make some spaces look different. But
And so that was one of the pieces that I know we talked about, was the expediency element of being engaged with Weeman Lamfair and being able to like,
So they could just do it right now.
can we just do this right now so that we can get it done in time for like at least a piece of it done? Because we know that the new treasurer agrees that that position should be on the main floor, and moving that back down and not having to redo it too many times.
So maybe you go back to, who is it, Scott or who?
Steve.
And just say, you know, you gotta
Can you bring
work
this
with
down,
us here.
please?
Yeah.
what would be a number that you all would be comfortable with?
And I'd rather see half that, but.
Yeah.
I was thinking like 8, but
Yeah,
certainly under 10.
75, 8.
Yeah.
I am going to continue to say this. We cannot just spend money because it's faster, it's easier. We have a huge responsibility with the amount of money that we've asked this town to come up with already. So anywhere that we can save money, we need to be thinking along those lines. We have to.
Let's have a conversation with Steve.
Okay.
We can start there.
Yeah.
And see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not, I hear you, totally.
I mean, it works out to be like $250 an hour. That's a.
Did you see their rate sheets?
No, but I did the math.
Yeah, well, they're high.
And that's.
Their clerical work gets paid what we get paid to put roofs on. Okay, so we're not signing that. We are going back to Steve and saying, hey, what can we do for 8? Can you get this down for us, please? Sorry, I'm getting lost in my agenda.
The culvert was you wanted to add on to that.
Friends of Med River, did you guys get that email? Did I send it? Okay, they want to reapply for the grant. So they want reapproval from us and the letter of support to be renewed. There's no
town money.
No town money.
No financial obligations?
No financial
That
obligation.
seemed great to me, I read it.
Are we okay with that?
Sounds great.
I thought I forgot to send the email.
No, you
I
said
didn't
it.
forget to send the email.
No.
Good.
You did it.
I did it. Did I forget to send it to you?
No, I have it.
Do we need
For
all of
Julie?
us? Or do we just need to approve you writing it and sending it? Okay.
The one you sent, they drafted or who?
I think it was a combination last year, right?
So we just re-signed it and
They drafted it.
I wrote it.
You wrote it.
Oh, all right. Well done.
She's great.
Well done. So we literally just put a different date on it and re-sign it as
I
for the
think so.
resubmission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it saved, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, I
Do we
like the
need to
letter.
physically sign it? Okay. Are we good with re-upping our
Yeah.
letter
Yeah.
of support for
Definitely.
the Hanks Road culvert, which will be more money than it was the last time? Great.
Where is that culvert? Is it the one that goes underneath the Lincoln Gap Road?
Lincoln Gap Road.
Yeah.
Is it? The
It's
one
the-
right at the bottom? Or
yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
It's the one up by Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, up. It's the one
It's
that's kind of.
on Hanks Road though, right? Does it run parallel to Lincoln Gap? I can't really remember.
Because there's the one that goes underneath.
It is kind of to the right.
I think
isn't
it's
it?
Andrew said it's the one that runs right underneath.
Underneath it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Andrew is not, just so you all know for transparency, Andrew's not in support of this.
I know.
Really?
No. He feels that fish will figure it out.
Yeah. But this is a letter of support for the grant.
Correct.
So we're
Correct.
not-
Correct.
Yeah.
We
Just
just
saying.
I made that clear to Julie and to Iro when I met with them. was
Right.
that,
Just for
you know,
our minutes.
highway department
Just
doesn't
Oh, I
have the
see.
capacity to do this
This
project.
is the bigger culvert so that more
Correct.
fish can
Yeah.
come through.
A different
Yeah.
shape.
It's
Right.
a concrete bottom.
Yeah.
It's
versus-
bottomless.
It's
The one they
bottomless.
want now is bottomless.
Yeah.
The previous time they were talking about a box culvert,
Yeah.
like you're talking
Yeah.
about. This is bottomless. So
But
it's like
they
a
did
big
some more
horseshoe.
research. Yeah.
100% grant
Yes.
money, yeah.
No matching funds.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't cost us anything.
All right.
And the fish are happy. Frogs and salamanders. Good.
Okay, moving right along.
Moving right along. We're on to signatures. You guys want to add anything?
No, go.
No.
That was funny.
Okay.
Snowing.
Awesome.
Uh,
there.
Wait, here.
That's wrong. Don't get rid of that one.
Which one?
Take that one away. That one was just from here. I think.
Like babies over here.
All right. Move to approve accounts payable in the amount.
Rebecca's first accounts payable, is this it?
This year?
This is your
Third.
I looked it over.
I
by the
did
way.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a question about the audiobook.
Well,
It's probably
it's
the
library.
library.
Yeah, it's library.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense.
I think I've actually asked that
I was
question
like, should
before
I
myself.
ask this? It's like not very many dollars, but why are we buying audiobooks?
Yeah, it's the library.
All right. Move to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $182,462.38. I think that's me.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to approve the payroll in the amount of $39,242.81.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those are accounts payable.
To the crown.
Payrolls.
I like it.
Okay, forms PVR 4155.
So this is basically just, if you read it,
We hereby certify that on this date, there are not any appeals pending from action of the listers nor suits pending to recover taxes paid under protest relating to the April 1st, 2020 to 2025 grand list of Warren, Vermont. Given under our hands at Warren in the County of Washington, State of Vermont, this 5th day of February 2026. So this, I imagine, is sort of a logistical step in clearing out old potential suits against the existing grand list. And there are none.
Who has told us that there are none?
Julie Burns and Sandra Broder.
Okay. So do we need to move that, sign that? What are we doing?
What do we do with
have to
this?
sign it.
And then it has to be attested this day of by the town clerk.
Yes.
And he will do that after we sign it. I'm signing it. I don't think we need to move anything. I'm so grateful there are no suits against the town.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
Oh, it's a very nice.
So Julie and Sandra are attesting to us that there's no suits?
Yes.
And we're,
And, well,
We
they're
are,
attesting to somebody and we are also,
forwarding their attestation?
oh, yes, there's that word.
we are.
Venice.
It's our attestation too, is it not?
I guess. But we're relying on,
Where
We're
these people-
relying
I was
on their
wondering
word.
that. What do they do? Planning and
Wow.
development. This is what's her face?
This is for, Karen,
Years?
for the Main Street conversation
Karen.
from VHB.
Oh, VHB.
Oh.
Okay. She hasn't come back and presented
I
to
haven't
us.
seen anything yet.
No, that's good.
But I'm
That's
assuming
about
since we've
that,
seen the invoice that she's close.
Yeah, let's maybe.
Most
spell out
likely-
the-
I have.
Okay. Town building renovations, these are all just Wanamaker.
Yep,
Oh, we're finally paying
we're
him.
finally paying him.
He's finally done. Hey guys, he's done.
The doors?
The
The doors.
Yes, the doors are done. How nice.
Guys, the doors are
The
done.
pull and push plates are on there.
Yeah. And the kick plates and the weather stripping. Okay, anything else? No,
Nope, that's it.
these are just for me.
Those are for you.
That's it? We're done?
We're done.
Are we making a motion to adjourn?
I don't know if you want to quickly give them an update about the.
Oh, we have time.
Yeah.
That's right, we
the,
said in other business.
Interviews that you and Joel have done with
Sure.
K&K and Yukon Property Services.
well, we met with both of them for an hour each. Chad and Pat, who's one of his managers, his manager who does a lot of the administrative and technology. They walked us through their ticketing system. They have special software that just does that they use with a lot of HOAs and condo complexes. It was very impressive. There's authorizations, there's approvals, there's routing, there's time date stamping. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and as soon as it gets listed, someone automatically gets dispatched
Yeah.
to deal with it. So
Yeah.
it's not,
So
like-
once it gets approved, so like if you put in a ticket, it would go to Rebecca. If Rebecca approved it, it would go directly to KMK as an approved order, and there would be an immediate dispatch to address it.
And then is there some sort of response back to Rebecca saying?
It was done.
Received and we're on our way, you know?
Yeah, I think you can track the status of
Yeah,
all the
status,
open
yeah.
tickets, yeah. So if Ruth had a file cabinet that needed to be moved, she puts in a ticket, it goes to Rebecca. Rebecca approves it.
Right.
It's an hour of labor. They come out and they move it.
They decide what priority level it is based on,
Person putting in the ticket.
person putting in the ticket and all that
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
okay.
they explained it to me a little bit when they came for the site walk.
I imagine also like what's happening, like when it's -20 and people have no heat, they prioritize
Right,
that over
right.
looking filing gas.
And they have a lot of people.
They've got 20 employees.
They have a lot of
Summer.
specialties. They have access to plumbers and electricians that are essentially on call. They have a lot of capabilities. It was impressive, I thought. And certainly they have a lot of knowledge on codes and fire codes and the things that are important for the town and any
They deal with a lot of condos and stuff, right? So
big
they're
condo complexes.
associations.
And so they're very used to giving board updates, very used to giving monthly reports, very used to kind of all of the kind of clean, crisp updates and documentation that would be very helpful for the 50,000. They did send Rebecca an email, or Chad did, laying out they could do the 50,000 and just laying out how many hours that equates to for doing the site visits and the reports and the follow-ups.
So the 50,000 was just basically, okay, we do fewer hours.
Yeah.
Which is maybe like they report every 8 weeks instead of 4?
Well, it'll still come every month, but they may not. It'll just take longer to finish all the buildings and properties, or we could instruct them to do a higher level review of all of them first, and then go back and do a deep dive, or they'll do whatever we want.
So that 50,000 relates specifically to the capital improvement plan of the, is that what you're saying?
No, it's the 5-year plans, capital planning, improvement plans.
It's the baseline of their contract.
It's all their ticketing.
Yeah.
It's the monthly reports, and it's overseeing the RFPs for
What
anything.
are the monthly reports?
Coming to the select board and giving an update on all the tickets and the status and how much it's cost and.
Monthly?
Yeah,
I don't want
I thought
them
we
to
don't
Wait,
have
they'll come as
room on
often-
our agenda.
Guys, we can stay for another hour.
As often as monthly, if you want them to come and record, I'm sure they'd be perfectly happy
And
to
maybe
not
even
come.
it's a monthly report that goes in your folder
Yeah.
at the end of each
Could
month.
be that too.
And they don't need to come and present.
Yeah, I think that makes sense for us.
Just so that you all know that they're doing what, we're paying them for and
Right.
paying attention to stuff.
And we met with Lucas yesterday at the firehouse. We met for about an hour, and I think he has excellent knowledge of the town and the buildings, and he has a great set of skills. He's certainly an asset, I think, to the community and all that he does for the town already. We started to ask him about the administrative side of things, and I think it's something he would have to figure out. It was more on the lines of, I'll have to spend a lot more time in front of the computer, and well, how will that work in the summer when you have all the mowing? Well, I'll have to prioritize.
It's not something he's done before, like this.
It's something he would have to figure out. He wasn't planning to hire anybody to help him in this regard. He does have access to other practical help contractors and the like that he can pull in if he needs it. But
Does he have a working relationship with plumbers or electricians? Do you know?
it didn't come out in the discussion. I think the people he was talking about were more generalists, like he is. So I just think it's a very different offering. Will he be dedicated? Will he do stuff just to do it? I think he would. It would just be a very different kind of experience for the town.
Being a one-man show.
Yeah, just
Right.
if there was an emergency in the middle of the night and a pipe froze, heaven forbid, I think he would be here, but
Right.
KMK would too. So
And we've equalized the costs.
we've equalized the costs.
And so, it's just basically who's got the bigger Rolodex.
Yeah.
And who can be like, pull the weight at the moment of being like, honestly, like the larger company has a little bit more, pull because they're managing larger company, larger, facilities, and so they want to keep those relationships good. So
They just have a lot more experience with with the administration. I mean, just that they manage a lot of big relationships.
Did you have any specific conversations about like building repairs and the historic nature of them?
We did.
A lot of that comes down to like, you know, if we're talking about the schoolhouse, you know, getting someone to come and bid it, you know, and whether or not they're going to oversee the work or we're going to collect the bids, or, you know, that's sort of a discussion as that project unfolds. But, you know, in cases like that, I think they're going to look to the select board, and then we're going to have to look to the historical society on how many inches to the weather we want these clapboards to be, you know, like. But I think both companies seem to be aware of the historical nature of the buildings, and that there's going to be some kind of subtlety and sensitivity to each project, and not just to go at it with a with a sawzall.
Well, and the bigger jobs are going to be RFP'd anyway, so they wouldn't be doing it. They would be.
Did they talk
seeing
about that
the
at all?
RFP.
Would that be like if we do those bigger projects through an RFP? Are they managing those contractors?
Yes, both of them. Yeah.
They would, and
Yeah.
so then they would charge their markup.
No, it would be part of the fee. We did clarify with Chad that if the town pays the contractor for the RFP, there's no markup.
Okay.
If he pays the contractor, just because he's floating the town, there would be the markup. So it'd be up to the town what we wanted to do. It would be like a financing charge, really.
Yes. However, would he still be managing the project?
They would both oversee the contractors.
The doing of the work.
Yes.
In whatever capacity we ask them to do.
Right.
And that would be included in that $50,000 annual
Well, they're
fee,
both
or-
equating it to a number of hours. So if we say we want you to manage the town garage or
Yeah,
oversee it,
right.
that would take a lot of hours that they
More
wouldn't be
time.
doing inspections and the other stuff. It's our choice.
So all that 50,000 is always tied to a number of hours. So they've got a ticker going on
Pretty much.
hours, and like if we reach those hours, then it's billed afterward. That
Basically, yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's
Pretty
helpful
much, yeah.
because that's part of what I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
Like, what is this 50,000
Yeah.
covering?
Yeah.
Is it
How do you
is it a
measure it?
scope of services or is it a number of
Kind of
hours?
like almost like a retainer, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to be applied to the tickets.
No.
That 50,000.
Right.
Right.
Right. The
So there
filling of
were
the
no
tickets.
amount of hours included in that for actual work,
Right.
like actual carpentry work or handyman
Exactly.
work. Or,
It's the administrative stuff. So all the things that we just talked about.
and I think that's how we got to 100. Didn't we
For
get
the
to
budget.
100,000
Yeah.
right? So that we knew that the tickets were going to cost.
Right. So half for the administrative,
Yeah.
half for the tickets. So it's $4,000 a month.
So what do you think?
I mean,
We haven't seen Lucas's, I mean, you guys talked to him, but I asked him to get his answers back to me by Friday.
Okay.
So my thought is that we
Oh,
would
Wait until we have
the
that.
questions that we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were essentially laying out the same bullets that Chad did. You know, how many hours does it equate to in general, and how do you think about that, and you know, address the administrative questions. You know, how do you plan on making sure you have enough time, and you know, reallocating your book of business, and so that you have the time, and you know, what kind of how would you do it? Like, what would be the process of the ticketing? What he talked about was, well, we just do it all via email, and at the end of the month, I'd accumulate all the emails and add them all up, and you know, that it's possible that you can do it, but it's not.
Not as clean.
No.
Lucas doesn't even have like a timesheet program that he would be able to.
It wasn't clear.
Yeah.
If he did, he didn't mention it.
Yeah. So probably not.
Yeah.
He has some, I know that, you know, whenever we've received his invoices, they come through,
QuickBooks.
you know, like a QuickBooks or, you know,
Yeah.
something like
They
that.
come
But
to QuickBooks. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the answer to, and I know that he has sort of commented on a personal level that, you know, that if he got this, you know, this bid with the town, that, you know, he probably would most likely get rid of some of his mowing jobs.
Yeah.
So that could free up potentially some of his time.
It could, but it's a question of, is that really what
Exactly.
he's-
No.
That's not where his experience lies.
Right.
No, and as far as the administrative side, like with mowing and plowing, it's like you count times. You have a set
Right.
fee for a thing.
Exactly.
And I went 5 times last month, and that is a different sort of approach.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it sounds like we should wait to make any decisions until we hear back
Yeah.
from Lucas.
Yep.
Thank you guys for doing
problem.
that. I love it when things get done and I didn't have to do it.
That's
Thank you.
good. Remember
I love
that.
this.
Remember
Well, once we sign one of the 2 of them up, then hopefully there would be a lot of things getting done, like all
Yeah,
little
it's just gonna be awesome. Yeah,
things.
I'm excited. This feels like a really wonderful piece of progress.
that we need to make note of in our presentation on town meeting day. It is part of the increase
Yep.
in our budget
Yes.
is
Yeah.
tending to something that really has just been unaddressed for many years.
Yeah.
Well, and I think to piggyback on that, you know, Harvey and I had a really interesting, productive
2 hour.
conversation with Nemrick about the tax bill discussion, which led to lots of other I felt like clarification for me on a lot of stuff that I haven't really been able to get answers to since I started. In terms of, you know, the grand list and, you know, the CLA tax and the state tax and, you know, how all of those get set, and, you know, Chris gave Harvey some names from the state that Harvey's gonna go and talk to with some bigger questions that Chris and Cynthia couldn't answer today, but we talked about possibly making that part of the presentation at town meeting. I know we're going to talk about this on the 24th, but to sort of give people a better understanding about, because I think what we're hearing here at the town office is that the fact that the town's doing a reappraisal, that their taxes are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, right.
And Chris said that's not necessarily the case, but that is the conclusion that people come to when they hear that a town's doing a reappraisal. So I think that,
you know, on average, the appraisals are going up a lot. And the last appraisal was 2008. Everybody knows prices since 2008 have gone up substantially.
Across the board, though.
Across the board.
Right.
But so from a municipal budget perspective, if everybody goes up and your budget stays the same, the tax rate goes down and that's fine, but that's only 20% of our taxes. 20% is Harwood. Hopefully that would true itself up by a lower rate, but I'm not exactly sure how they set the rate. But for the state, it's a whole different calculation. So 60% of the taxes just go directly to the state. Now they have their own state rate, which there's a set rate, and then they have 2 adjustments on that, a CLA and a, what was it, the SA?
The SA.
I don't know, state adjustment.
State adjustment, yeah.
They multiply those 2 together, it's a...
Yeah.
What does
formula.
What does that mean as far as
What that
how
means is
affects
it's
the
not
appraisal?
clear that, so the state collected $13 million from us. If they collected in 2025, if they collect $13 million in 2026, they would just adjust the rate down to the extent the grand list went up, the same way we would do with the municipal budget. But that's not how it works with the state.
Right.
We don't know that the state is not going to say, well, if the grand list goes up 50%, we're just going to collect more and keep the rate the same.
Yeah.
They will adjust the CLA.
What is the CLA?
The CLA is
Common level
every
of
year they
appraisal.
adjust your appraisal based on average, what they think your town's appraisal is relative to what the market value is on average for your town. So they'll say, you haven't reappraised in a long time, so we think all of your appraisals are low, so we're going to essentially mark those appraisals up by a certain percentage.
Okay.
And then apply our state
And
rate
they've
to
been
that.
doing that because our appraisal has been out of date.
Right. So we're at 61%.
What does that mean?
Well, if you divide instead of multiply, it would be a lot easier if they did,
The opposite.
they did it the other way, but they don't.
So they're arguing that our appraisal value is 61% of what it should be. So they're adding 40%.
That was last year. And I think we just got a letter that you
Is that-
gave me the other,
Oh, you did send something.
you had it at a physical copy at the meeting that said what the CLA
Yes.
would have been in 2026.
Yes.
And it was like 45.
Yeah.
Which is super, super low. Like,
But, so the
taxes were
reappraisal.
gonna
Which
go.
means they would take our grand list, sorry, let me run this through to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
They'd take our grand list and they'd divide it by 45.45
Well,
to reach what they think
At
that
the
grand list
individual-
total should actually be.
and there's another adjustment.
Value.
There's another adjustment on top of that.
Right, but if we're just
Yes.
talking about the CLA?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, it's by individual taxpayer, but not the list in total, but
Okay.
yes. Essentially, yes.
They do it by each individual.
Yeah, so it's actually
There's a-
on your.
there's a formula, it's
on your tax bill.
Oh, good.
Like if you went and looked at your
this
tax
big,
bill,
Yeah.
it schedules it all out for you, and there's a different rate for homestead, non-homestead, and
Yeah.
all that.
Okay, so they've been increasing what we contribute based on how
Yeah.
low they think our
Yeah, the reason
appraisal is.
everybody's taxes have doubled since 2020 is that portion that goes to the state just keeps going
Getting
up and up
bigger.
and up
Yeah.
by and it would have gone up had we not reappraised. It would have gone up quite a bit because you were going from 61 to, I believe it was 45.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
had we not been doing a reappraisal, the state portion of those taxes would have gone up quite significantly.
So are they saying now that we are doing a reappraisal,
Right.
the CLA should basically be zero?
Well, it'll be 100.
It'll be 100.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, going the other way.
Right.
And what was interesting in the call is, and he sent, I think, links to this spreadsheet. They have a spreadsheet that shows all the towns and what their CLA is. And it also tells you which towns have done reappraisals recently in the last year or two. And so you can see, like Stowe reappraised in 2024. So you can see what their CLA was before the reappraisal.
Yeah.
You can see they did the appraisal in 24, and then you can see what the CLA is after. And so you can actually do a case study, which is what I would propose to do. What we can't do is tell people what's going to happen to their taxes here, because we don't know. We don't know all the variables. They're not going to come out until down the road. But what we can say is if your appraisal doubles, it doesn't necessarily mean your taxes are going to double. We know for the 20% that we control that it won't. This is how it worked for Stowe when they did it in 24. This is their CLA before, this was their tax rate. They did the appraisal, their CLA went up to like 120. It's not capped at 100.
Right.
It can go up.
Oh, so they're appraised above market value, so they're adjusting down.
Right.
Interesting.
Huh. And they're a town.
So their tax rate went up, but it didn't double. And so we could kind of lay that out. I'm speculating that it would actually make sense. I think it would.
Once you work through it all.
Yeah.
But it probably should be a topic at the town meeting that we,
Let's
kind of lay this out and
definitely.
at least
If you can
make it coherent.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We talked about it for quite a while. I think.
But Chris put some language, when he was
Yeah.
sharing his screen, he put some language down at the bottom that I think we could use that would be valuable and would make sense to.
Yeah. I'll work on a slide, see if we can come up with something. And I'll reach out to the state people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a good meeting.
Josie.
Would you guys accept a public comment on this?
Yes, please.
I worked for a year as an assistant city clerk in Montpelier, 2 years. And at the time, we were going through a reappraisal. And I explained this to a lot of people who came in to the city clerk's office and were panicking because they thought that their appraisals in some cases were doubling, and they thought that meant that the next year they'd pay twice as much in taxes.
Right.
What I found, I sort of started from a very technical explanation with people, and what I found was that erases the anxiety. What people like to hear is simple, straightforward, very correct, but like as simple as you can get. Examples work really well, and then if they do have more specific questions, if they ask for specificity, you can provide it. But like, I would, if you're trying, especially if you're trying to describe this to the town, like start from a place of absolute simplicity. Like this, if everything goes according to plan and all of the assessments are correct, this will it will only change how much everyone knows relative to each other, and not a lot. Like only if you have an addition on your house or something.
The problem is that's not true. This is what we're learning. That is only true for the municipal part of it.
Right.
It's not true for the state part.
But the CLA, my understanding has always been, and maybe this has changed, or maybe this is different for our case for one reason or another. I know we had a lot of weird specific stuff going on with failures that but like all the sort of rigmarole that the state puts the numbers through. It's basically meant to normalize things.
No, it is, except that the taxes still went up. Like, this is why you go through an actual case study to say, this is what actually happened.
Yeah.
Stowe's taxes actually went up based on what we were looking at.
Yeah.
But they didn't double. So,
Not terribly reassuring.
no, it's not, but it's real, right? This is a, you know,
We may not
if we say they're not gonna go up and then they go up,
right.
then you're not doing anybody any favors.
Can we just stop paying taxes? I'm done.
I think you said that before, Kayla.
Yeah, I think that's
I
a good
know, I
idea.
feel like this is gonna be me
Talk to
at
your
town meeting. It's gonna be
legislature.
like, let's all revolt and stop.
Yeah, so,
Please.
No, we can't run the town.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we have a meeting next week, reminder for the public meeting for the land use development regs.
Yes.
Can you just run us through how that's gonna work?
Nope, because I was just sitting here thinking, I need to figure out how that's gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it,
And we'll be here.
based on
You're-
the
Warren,
planning
we're here.
commission one, it's pretty basic. The revised looters are posted, the PC report is posted, better be posted. It's, yeah, you know, I think maybe we'll read the report, we'll ask for public comment if we have any discussion, but it could be very, very simple and quick, depending on.
And then do we vote on the regs
Yeah.
that night?
Yes, yes.
so it's a select board meeting
It's a select
It's
board
it's a special select board meeting.
next week.
It's a public, yes,
Gotcha.
public hearing. And it is at 6:30?
6:30.
Yes,
Here.
same time, yep,
Same time, same place.
same time, same place.
Okay.
Hopefully
Woohoo!
it'll be short.
And then the 24th, we'll do town meeting prep.
Yeah.
Josie will be here again. Harvey, have you met Josie? Josie? Harvey?
Moderator.
She's our moderator.
I will be out on the 24th,
So
just so
you're
you
gonna
all
have
know.
to.
Thank you, Kaylee. Kaylee won't be here. We'll be here. We'll do town meeting prep. We'll talk through sort of how town meeting will go.
Who's
We'll-
gonna do what?
Who's gonna do what? We'll talk about, you know, like, is there a budget presentation? What should be in that budget presentation? What else do we wanna talk about?
Where are the mics, where's the
Yep, all the things.
computer,
When do we
which
show
computer,
up?
yeah.
Do we all wear pink? That kind of stuff. I don't know why I said that, but like, we could wear funny hats.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I would just like
Red hats.
the three of us to collaborate on what the agenda for the looters. I know, do we schedule an hour?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do we
right.
schedule 2 hours? Like, so, but
Right.
we can talk about
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end, towards the end of the week.
Is this
Yeah,
gonna be
let
like
me-
a well-attended thing?
We don't
or-
know. Sometimes.
The PC one had nobody. I was the only one there. So it really depends.
And she's
This is
de
the
facto on the PC.
20th time around.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I'm wondering.
and there have been so many other things going on. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people are
Yeah,
even,
Paying attention.
yeah,
Paying attention.
so.
and it's
I
school
don't
break. No, it's not school break yet.
No, we shouldn't.
President's Week.
It's break for everybody
Everybody
else,
else,
Yeah.
right?
but not us, I think.
And so we're closed on the 16th.
Monday.
Monday.
So, not that that's a huge deal, but.
Great.
Look at us.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second.
Maybe nobody's
All
gonna
those in
say it.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Great
Aye.
meeting.